So I got kind of an interesting deck today. Obviously, this is an evolution of the kind of black-white Smallpox deck we've been playing, but we're splashing green for Grist and Culling Ritual. Specifically, Culling Ritual I feel like solves a lot of problems that the Reanimator decks have, where this card, I've been really impressed with this card in other shells, but just like, it kills Sanctifier, it kills Rest in Peace, and then gives you a lot of mana back to really swing the game in your favor. So we're playing one in the main deck, which we can Profane Tutor for, and then we're gonna just board into the full 4 copies against decks like Hammer Time. I like this card against Rhinos. I played against mono white. Played against mono white Martyr Proc last night. This card was really insanely good. So I ended up playing 2 leagues last night. I started off 3-0 in both leagues, and then the first one I went 4-1, and the second one I went 3-2. But the deck felt pretty strong. But it's also true, like, when you play Reanimator, like when you run hot, the deck always feels strong. If you could just draw Unmarked Grave and Persist together, the deck just always feels really strong. But the Culling Ritual specifically felt really strong to me. And then we're also playing Grist the Hunger Tide, and Grist is like just a very strong magic card in general, and it's nice that you can persist your Grist to have just an extra tutor target or extra target for persist, and then you can also mill over Archon or Unburial Rites with Grist sometimes today. Okay, we're playing against a Lurrus deck. This hand is fine. Yeah, Culling Ritual has been really, really good. It solves, I think, a lot of this deck's problems, and I think it's worth splashing for. Grist 2. Thoughtseize on turn 1. Ah! Oh, no. I guess I take the Swift Spear, so I can suspend Tutor next turn. Yeah, their hand's actually pretty bad against us, because we're just, like, really resilient to Searing Blaze. The last day, if you're ahead, may I sandbag a 4-0, or would you like to, if possible? No, I'm not sandbagging. I'm not playing with this bet. I'm not trying to flex. At this point, the race is so close. I'm just going to. I'm not going to let up. I'm not going to relax and take it easy for a couple days and let Prince catch back up for good TV. Because my opponent, Prince, is insane. The guy is like really, really just like absolutely has the range to get 3 trophies in a day, and it is not something I'm messing around with. Yeah, I think I want a Liliana here, since next turn if Liliana's alive, I can tutor for Archon and discard it to Liliana, then persist. How devastated am I going to be if I lose? I'm not going to be devastated. I have lost much more high stakes. My Magic career has been full of like high stakes losses. That's been maybe even like the defining characteristic as me as a Magic player, is losing really high stakes matches. So, or at least, I mean, obviously there are higher stake matches to be lost than the ones I've lost, but I'm not going to be that worried about it. I mean, I like to compete, right? I like to compete, but I don't care that much about losing at this point. I just like to do my best, and if I lose, I lose, and if I win, that's great. But I'm more of a do my bester than a sore loser. I think I'm gonna bring in. Let's play 3 rituals. Pretty good against Liliana. Have one story particularly. Got to redeem the bad beat story to get one. I don't know. There's one like particularly feel bad. I talked about it yesterday. I feel like I talk about it too often. But yeah, Dark Poet, 3 months. Appreciate you. But yeah, it's just like, I mean, competition is fun for me. I like to compete, and I honestly, like, I don't know how much this makes sense, but I like to compete more than I like to win. I just like to do my best, and I don't mean that in like a cheesy, corny, do your best, guys, do your best, kids, let's go. I mean that in, I like to see how well I can do. I like to like see how I like to push my skills. And that's really fun for me. And I care less about winning and losing, and more so just like playing as best as I can and seeing how good I can be. You know, that's like that's the attitude I try to have. Is Chalice one good against them? Yeah, we probably should have brought in the Chalice. What's my opinion on the Stoneblade version? I don't like Stoneforge Mystic in this deck. I kind of think it like muddies it a bit. I don't think it's a great plan B, but I think it's like it's definitely a passable plan B. You know, it is not, you know, absurdly bad or anything like that. Just think it's better to be on like Smallpox because it has. I feel like that card has a lot of synergy with this deck. Yeah, we are X1 dropping until the end of the bet. I know that we're ahead, but there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days left, and then I think I have to take Saturday off too. So, I don't think I have an option except to X1 drop. Why is Grist instead of Souls? I mean, Grist is really, really strong. The more you play it, the more I play with the card, the happier I am with it. You could play Souls instead, though. You know, but you know, really, the green splash is mostly for Culling Ritual. Culling Ritual has been very, very strong. On some, you got a strictly better. If it's CMC graded 3, you get to scry 1. Interesting. Yeah, I like them on a green Eldrazi deck a lot. I'll play some of that probably. But I also have like I've got like a new aggro deck that I've been working on, the Red Black Scourge one, so I might play some of that. Discard Arid Mesa. Let's see if they have like Path as their last card. Even if they do, they're not in great shape. How good is Profane Tutor the deck? Well, I mean, you just saw it in action here, right? Both of these games we were able to Profane Tutor to good effect. Obviously, the card is slow, but it's also true. Like in this deck, you're slowing the game down a lot with your discard spells, with your Smallpoxes. Profane Tutor also like lines up pretty well. Where if you suspend it on turn 2, on turn 4 it comes off suspend, and you can grab either Unmarked Grave or Persist if you're only missing one, and then go Unmarked Grave plus Persist on turn 4. And it's also definitely true that Unmarked Grave and Persist they're so much better than any other enabler for this archetype. They're so much better than Priest of Fell Rites. They're so much better than any looting effect, that just being able to tutor for them, I think, is better than playing like Priest of Fell Rites, which is just so much weaker. No, we Trophy 38 on stream. Yeah, we actually played for Trophy 3 times in a row yesterday. We did lose the second time playing, but we got 2 on stream yesterday. New looting better than Jeskai Phoenix or Esper Reanimator? Probably Esper Reanimator. I'm really excited to try it at that shell. I think we keep this. What I mentioned with the general, the Faithful Mending. That card's kind of interesting. Is it really that better than Fact or Fiction? Yes, drawing 4 cards is much better than Fact or Fiction's effect. It is much stronger. Like usually with Fact or Fiction, you get 3 weaker cards or 2 really good cards. Obviously, that's like a bit of a generalization, but I'd say like on average, you get 3 medium cards or 2 good cards, which is both of those situations are worse than 4. Obviously, Fact or Fiction is always castable on 4, but also like if you're enabling into the story, which the blue-black deck does do pretty well, you're usually able to cast it on turn 4 as well. Yeah, Fact or Fiction should also be 4 mana to get 1 silver bullet, but Into the Story would draw you that same silver bullet and 3 other cards. So maybe they're playing Jeskai Murktide. I'm playing Grief Reanimator and Paper for locals every week. It's been doing well. I think that deck's fine. I watched Doom play it some. I like it. I like the versions with Seasoned Pyromancer, I should probably say. Profane Tutor is kind of good against a counterspell here, kind of bad against Teferi Time Raveler, but they'll be kind of incentivized to tap out for Teferi Time Raveler this turn. We have Prismatic Ending to deal with it. Bolts me. If they go Murktide region, we have Smallpox. Flagstones would be good. So they didn't play Teferi this turn. I don't think we care that much about Teferi after this turn because like the damage will already be done. So I'll just discard the ending. Oh, they can't play Teferi because of Smallpox. They missed their land drop. Nice. The new timely reinforcements. I like that card a lot. We're looking at spoilers for sure, but usually I don't start building decks until after the full spoiler set has started. But we talk about cards here. I do like that card. So let's grab Persist here. And then cast Unmarked. That's a really good draw, because now I think they're going to counter my Unmarked Grave, because they need to use their mana. I feel like they almost definitely have a counterspell. Okay, now we get to go Godless Shrine, and then next turn, if they miss their land drop again, we can cast Smallpox, and then they kind of have to counter that, otherwise they can't counter my Persist. Okay, yeah, so let's go... Main phase 1, Smallpox. Then Persist. To discard Prismatic Ending. They draw lands. Let's attack with our Archon. Discard another Ending. Take 5 down to 3. Play Liliana. Do you have a favorite spoiler so far? I'm probably the most excited for Faithful Mending. I personally also really like zombies as an archetype, so I'm pretty excited for a lot of the zombies cards I've seen so far. Okay, put it right in the yard. Opponent is off of it. So they don't usually play permanent-based Graveyard Hate, the Jeskai Murktide deck, because it's usually pretty awkward with Murktide. So I think I'm going to cut the Culling Rituals here. Cut the Prismatic Endings. And bring in probably 3 Lingering Souls and 2 Vindicates. Thoughts on the new Black-Green Expel as a one-of? I haven't seen that card yet. Maybe you could link it. Did not play Soul Guides typically. If my opponent's going off my list, which I think is I'm the one that popularized the Jeskai Murktide deck. I haven't really seen too many people go too off of the list. Obviously, they can, though. I was playing Sanctifier for a while, and I stopped playing Sanctifier because it just, it made my Murktides a lot worse. Yeah, so... Yeah, usually it's Dredge is not a common deck in Modern at the moment. You can beat Living In with counterspells, and you can beat Reanimator with counterspells, and there isn't really another all-in graveyard deck in Modern right now. We keep this against Control, I think. Gaia Reach Termin White-Black. I think I'm interested by the card. I've seen it before. I haven't tested it personally, but I'm interested. Do I have hot takes? No, I only have lukewarm, stale takes. Is Dredge woefully underplayed? No, Dredge is, I just think, not that good right now. I think Dredge is probably going to be a deck that can take down a tournament every once in a while in Modern, when the moons align, the stars align, or whatever. But I don't really anticipate Dredge being a tier 1 deck in Modern anytime soon. And I personally don't like playing against Dredge, so I don't mind that much, but I know people do like playing it. I've got a good friend who that was his first Modern deck. Is there a deck I wish I could be a tier deck that currently isn't? Yes. No. I don't know. I just work on so many deck lists. It's even they exile Teferi, but they can't play it here. It's even when I'm not able to make a deck that I want to work, I'm just at least recently I've just been very quickly on to the next thing. So I guess I just don't worry too much about it. Yeah, I mean, Teferi's really good next turn because it stops my Profane Tutor. So I wonder if they meant to put that in their hand, or maybe they already have one in their hand. They cannot force a negation or spell pierce this Grist, which is nice. Is Grist? Yeah. Today this is the first time I've been splashing green for Grist and Culling Ritual. I think that Ritual is the main reason to splash green. This card I feel like solves a lot of problems for the Reanimator deck. A lot of problems. Let's take a look at the new spoiler. I'm going to grab a Persist here, I think. Ooh, interesting. Milled over another Persist. Alright, let's just Vindicate, I think. No rush here. Next we're going to go like Souls, Flashback Souls. Get those counterspells out of the hand. Oh, this card. No, I think this card sucks. I'm sorry. You don't have enough cards. You don't have enough creatures in your deck to make that card very large at all. You get Unmarked Grave for Creeping Chill. I have Unmarked Grave for Creeping Chill before. But I hope not to ever do it again. Fire the Grist. What other color pair needs a 3-bomb Planeswalker? I'd say that most color combos have access to good Planeswalkers at this point. Still play around path. Not that I think they're likely to have any paths. Right, so now we are clear to resolve Unmarked Grave, which is, you know, good for us because we have 2 reanimation spells. Grixis? Yeah, maybe Grixis. I mean, you have access to the Royal Scions. Maybe Grixis needs a 2-mana Planeswalker so that you can play Lurrus too. Deck Faded would be fine for Modern. I think probably, yeah. I think probably. This is my favorite hat choice. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Oh, yeah, you do have Ashiok. That's true. Good in every matchup. Ashiok Nightmare Weaver. Alright, opponent needs to top deck something. Although we don't get our sweet ETB. Oh, I guess their Snapcaster is turned off too, though. Yeah, it definitely looks like my list. Or the last list I played. So no criticizing Torpor Orb plus Snap. Although I do usually trim on Snapcasters when I bring in Orb. Didn't like Dredge, how about now? This is a very cool card. Deal 3 to creature Planeswalker, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many. Very, very interesting. Doesn't turn off Murktide ETB. Murktide doesn't have an ETB. It enters with the counters. Enters with does not get countered by Orb, but whenever or when enters, that does trigger. Notes can be a bit confusing. I guess I should probably play around Verdict. Yeah, you can Rites Grist, that's true. Maybe I guess we could have done that instead. You can't Persist Grist though, because it's legendary. I thought you could going into today. But says the next time I try. It's funny. I think you have to do record before White Prince for the record command. Okay, 3-1 on the day though. Losing only to the unbeatable Tier 0 Grief Ephemerate deck. Feeling pretty good. We keep this hand. Playing against Lurrus. Is this better than Fact or Fiction? What? Look at the top X, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast a spell. So let's look at the top 4, put 2 of them in your hand, the rest in the bottom. Okay, that line of text is pretty good. Lurrus, Temple Garden, so maybe like Naya Zoo. I keep losing to that deck. Or 4 or 5 color Zoo with Flashback. I mean, this card is good, I think. This is like a, this is better, this is like a better, Glimmer of Genius. Oh yeah, this card's cracked. This is like, it's better than Glimmer of Genius and it has Flashback. This card is also like really good in a Reclamation deck. Yeah, this is definitely modern playable. I think this is better than Fact or Fiction in a Reclamation deck. And Fact or Fiction was already like the best card advantage engine in a Reclamation deck. So, pretty exciting spoiler. Wait, they ghost courted themselves? Oh my gosh, the paid actors this league. I'm excited about this card. I'll tweet about it, I think. I think this is better than Fact or Fiction and Modern. Okay, yeah, that card seems great. And then, like, just the flashback, you get to look at 7 cards and then pick 2, so it's just dig through time. But you have to pay, you know, 7 mana for it, but its flashback is nice. I love that card. That card's really cool. What color is Faithful Mending? It's blue-white. It's blue-white, draw 2, discard 2, gain 2 life. And I also, like, I've been talking a lot about this. The gain 2 life on that effect is really, really good. It's kind of crazy that that card gains 2 life. I know I sound like I'm capping, but I'm not. My opponent does get to trigger Bob. Discards Grim Flare. Witherbloom Command. I do like Witherbloom Command. And if you need to find an Archon. Every time we plus Grist, we get 1 closer to Archon. They reveal Maelstrom Pulse. Take 3. They can kill. If they kill Grist, we can Unburial Rites Grist. Yeah, it's true. Fact or Fiction gives you info to your opponent. Like, you might draw 1 more card, but like, I mean, the flashback on this card in the Reclamation deck is huge because you just have so much mana. Wait, they killed the token? Oh, I guess that's better than killing Liliana. Never mind. That makes sense. I guess let's see. Let's plus first. We can hit Archon and then save our mana a bit. Gotta save that mana. Okay, so we're playing against Abzan Lurrus. I feel like Culling Ritual's got to be great because it just kills all their creatures besides Lurrus and kills, you know, Voidwalker, which is likely to be their main source of graveyard hate. Maybe they're playing Ooze. I also want these pushes. I probably want to cut my Thoughtseizes. Trim an Archon, maybe. I also kind of want Lingering Souls, but maybe we just leave it at home. Yeah, Culling Ritual, I really feel like solves a lot of this deck's problems. Let's try it like this. This looks pretty good to me. Kimi, thank you for 17 months. Appreciate ya. Put some big money on you? Really? Wait, there's bets going on about whether or not I'll win the race? How often you get to cast something after calling? Pretty often, I would say. Pretty often. Probably keep this if I had 1 more land, but probably keep this if I had any lands. Yeah, I'll go back. Fetid Heath, Prismatic Ending. Because I kind of want to tutor for Smallpox with this hand. And I want to be able to discard Archon. Isn't Fading Hope a better Vapor Snag? Yeah, but Vapor Snag isn't playable. Okay, Prismatic Ending for this. Oh, we just drew the Smallpox. Cool. This is just like why I feel like Ending is so important. I mean, Ending is obviously one of the best removal spells of Modern already, but it is so important in the Reanimator decks for situations like this. So I would really like to suspend Tutor next turn. They cycle Tranquil Thicket and they play Urza Saga. If I Smallpox this turn, my opponent's not going to be able to make any tokens off of Saga. Why do you run 4 Thoughtseize to Inquisition? Because you can Thoughtseize yourself, discard Archon, and then Persist. I think I need to Profane Tutor. I'm going to hope that they only have one Lantern to tutor. Or sorry, one Spellbomb to tutor with the Saga. They'll sack the token. Well, they can float mana in response to Smallpox, right? I think Lavinia is well positioned. It's fine. It's like Lavinia's got problems, right? Where it's okay against Tron, which is somewhat popular, but it doesn't beat the deck. It's not good against Karn the Great Crater or Oblivion Stone or Wormcoil Engine or Ulamog, but it is good against Karn Liberated and Ugin, which is only like 6 cards in the deck. So that's a problem. That it just isn't like, oh, we drew Persist. Well, guess let's Smallpox. So that's a problem for the deck, right? Another problem is against Rhino specifically. It's a 2/2 compared to Drannith Magistrate, which is a 1/3. Where if it were a 1/3, it would dodge Fire Ice and Stomp from Bonecrusher Giant to stop their deck, but or Empress Mari Command. Magistrate is a 1/3, and it's much harder for them to kill. But Lavinia is a 2/2, and so it dies, and then they untap and cascade really often. And so I'm not a big fan of the card, because I think that it is like maybe more versatile than Magistrate, but less impactful. So I guess that's my evaluation here. So let's hope that they don't have a second Spellbomb. If they do, obviously we could just kind of figure out what we're doing. Like maybe we could just tutor for Grist. Could also just tutor for another Smallpox, maybe. Yeah, Dead Gone too. Yeah. Just that third point of toughness, I think, makes Drannith Magistrate better than Lavinia in most games. Let's go. Only one Spellbomb. Let's go. Okay, what am I tutoring for, though? Maybe just Thoughtseize? Pox? Well, I don't think I want a Pox here. Dude, if I had a land, I could go Culling Ritual and then Persist. I guess it's not that impactful. Yeah, I think I just want to get Thoughtseize, because if they have, like, Assassin's Trophy... Or, sorry, I cited out my Thoughtseize as Inquisition. If they have an answer for... Or Maelstrom Pulse... I want to be able to... Oh. Any Smallpoxers in the chat? Sounds kind of wrong. They do get to draw a lot of new cards, though. Oh, so lucky for us that they couldn't cast the Voidwalker. I'll take it. I don't care about Bob, really. Couldn't I have Legend Roll Flagstones before Smallpox for extra land drop? It's not an extra land drop. I make the exact same amount of land drops. And then I get to save the other Flagstones for a... oh boy. I get to save the other Flagstones for another Smallpox. There you go. Inquisition. Took down local Wednesday Modern Night. Awesome, awesome. With the Green Eldrazi. Like to hear it. Glad to hear people are working on the deck. Alright. 3-0, feeling pretty good. 4-1 on the day. I've been liking this version so far. In a tournament where I live in 2 months, do you think Blue-White Chalice control can have a decent chance of winning? I mean, I can't see the future, right? Like, 2 months is a long time in the modern format, and we're about to get a new set that I think is going to be impactful on modern, so. And, like, Blue-White Chalice control specifically is a deck that hinges on it being well-positioned in the metagame, because it, like, hinges on Chalice being a good main deck card. And so I think there's a good chance it'll still be, like, still be a playable deck, but you know, I can't tell you what's going to happen in 2 months. And anybody who tells you what will happen in 2 months in the modern metagame is you know, either a genius or, you know, not right. Yeah, 602. Toski, Dismember, and cut the Vistas for Pain Lands, and cut the Force of Vigors for like natural states, and the Hierarchs for just regular mana elves. Okay, playing against a Lurrus deck. Could be Grixis Shadow. Has Unsettled Mariner seen play anywhere lately? Not to my knowledge. I think I need to keep this Unmarked Grave. Culling Ritual could maybe kill the DRC. Ignoble Hierarchs are budget friendly. Yeah, you could like definitely just buy Ignobles and then like wait to buy Nobles. That's true. I mean, the Thoughtseize is important to deal with Lurrus. Let me just discard the Ritual. I think the Ritual is like not bad here, but I'm kind of scared of Lurrus, and you know, I also kind of think that this game is going to come down to, do we draw Persist or Unmarked Grave or Unburial Rites in time to not be dead. And I think we're going to have a decent amount of time here. About green-red Eldrazi with Ignoble. Yeah, I mean, I really don't like Eldrazi Obligator. I just think that card is very medium. Alright, so no cards in hand. Okay, now I just feel silly for discarding the Culling Ritual. Not that I would have green mana, I guess. They put Lurrus in their hand, though. Okay. Which is weird when... Oh, sorry, they couldn't croak, so they were 1 card short. At what point do you think classic tribal decks can come back around, increase power level, put those decks to shame? I mean, it's kind of hard to say like exactly when any deck can come back, because everything's so contextual, and it's also not like I honestly think Merfolk is a super playable deck right now. I think Humans is also a playable deck at the moment, and pilots of those decks are kind of choosing to play different things. But I don't actually feel like traditional tribal decks are just unplayable. Alright, we need to persist into something. Okay. Game 2. Alright, so I want the Lingering Souls. My opponent's going to bring in a couple copies of Soul Guide Lantern. I probably want like the second Culling Ritual. I want the pushes. I probably just bring in the Chalice too and cut all my discard spells. And the 4th Archon. I guess Inquisition's kind of important against Drown. I think I kind of like this configuration though. You got a Humans list? Not really. I just think that I would play Esper Sentinel in the main. Just be like a little bit lower to the ground. Try to have a lower curve. I know that Bengucci like worked on the deck a bunch lately, so I'd probably look at... I think he wrote a deck guide for CFB a couple weeks ago. I would look at that. Meathook Massacre, Mythic, Black X. It's a legendary enchantment. Enters the battlefield. Each creature gets -X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1. Weird. What do Profane Tutors do in the deck? They tutor for our combo pieces. We're a combo deck. We need to find our pieces. Don't overthink it. They're not, you know, we're just suspending them, and they're fine doing that. All right, let's keep this. I think I'm gonna put back Marsh Flats. Can they deal with Emissary? Yes. They have Unholy Heat. They have Terminate. They have Drowned Lock. Good draw. I think Worldbreaker, Enchantress, and Hammer. I mean, Force of Vigor is better against both of those decks. Like, I have a hard time. Like, you already have 4 Force of Vigors. I don't think you also need a Worldbreaker. You could play one though. We got 38 yesterday, Eliza. It was like right after maybe like right after you left. Alright, so I think we're gonna Prismatic Ending. Oh. That makes things kind of interesting. I think I'm still gonna Ending the Spell Bomb. I don't want them to get any value off of it. Have Channel Firewall give me their preview card? No, I honestly think that the whole, like, me not getting a preview card thing is it's kind of funny at this point, and I don't know. I'm not. I think every spoiler season that goes by without me getting a preview card it just like becomes a better meme. Okay, our hand is very good against Inquisition. Okay, if we draw a land, we get to go Culling Ritual, Flashback, Lingering Souls. Pretty good. I guess you could have Flusterstorm. Not going to play around it. Maybe my opponent will cast Kroxa, huh? Luris in the hand. Smallpox? Yeah, now they get to go Luris Spellbomb. Oh no, they're even playing Spellbomb over Lantern. I just realized. Nobody listens to me that Spellbomb is or Lantern is better. So if we draw our second Culling Ritual, we make 5 mana. It's not quite enough, unfortunately. This also doesn't kill Luris. Don't think we have outs. Bummer. Our 5-0 streak ended by a very, very good deck, huh? Let's go finish the league, and then I think I'll play... Alright, I guess let me pull up this list. Let's see if you guys are interested in watching it. As far as like what you need to evaluate it as. Okay, Mulligan to Unmarked Grave Persist is usually a pretty good plan. Is it Phoenix, and is it Phoenix Stimulich deck to replace Phoenix or Stimulich with Murktide when I get copies? I'm not sure that you do that. Maybe. I haven't. I don't really. I tried Murktide and I didn't really like it in those shells, but you know, I guess it would just be up for you to play test it and see if it is actually better. Consideration for Seal of Fire main deck? I don't think so. It's just like not room for Seal of Fire in these decks anymore because of Unholy Heat, which I'm also not playing in this deck. Gotta make room somehow, huh? Cycles, Architects of Will. What are they tanking so hard on? So the burn deck is in, or the Flame Rift deck is in the Stream Decker now. Yeah, it looks like old school Living Ends. I just don't know like what the tank is about there. What? Okay. Cool. Cool. Real, recognize real. Do they have endurance? I don't see any endurances over here. They do have Terminate in their deck, though. Oh, would you have Thoughtseize? Which I'm pretty happy about. Yeah, I wonder if they're playing... I mean, I think Marauder has to be their only Cascade spell. I just, like... this is, like, the only Cascade spell they can afford to play. But the idea is that they also get to play, like, Tarmogoyf, 2-mana, like, Wrenn and 6, which other Cascade decks don't get to. Oh, Dead Gone, you know, definitely would have bounced the Archon. Yeah, opponent's deck is pretty cool. I mean, I think you can mostly... we've seen a lot of their deck at this point. Oh, this card, Incubation Incongruity. This card is an instant and sorcery for Delirium. And it digs 5 deep for Marauder. Okay, this card is great. Jeez. Opponent's deck is very cool. I like it a lot. I love Kolaghan's Command. You get to return your Blood Marauder. Very cool list. I don't like to ask for the lists. I don't like to be asked for my lists for a few different reasons. Where like one, like giving someone a list on Magic Online is more of a pain than it needs to be because you can't copy and paste links into chat. Or oh no, sorry, that used to be the case. You can now, actually. Sorry, we've had this conversation in the past. You can now, but it's also like I know that I like to keep deck lists secret until I post them for content, and so like people will ask me for lists when they run into me off stream a lot, and I'll say wait until I'm done tuning it. So like I know that I don't like to be asked for it, so I'm not going to ask my opponent for a list. You know. Opponent's playing Goyve. Guess I'm not that worried about Goyve. I feel like Grist is not that strong in this matchup. Play Souls over Grist. Yeah, but you could definitely like make out like you could figure out the deck from what we've seen so far. And I'm sure you'll be able to see more of it here. My opponent's deck is very cool. We seem to be cutting Grist a lot. Yeah, I think Grist is fine in this deck, but like I do agree that like Culling Ritual seems to be more of a reason to be green. I mean, Grist has been good, but it might not be the best thing. Oh, sorry. Forgot about Chalice. I don't know how I just totally forgot that they were a Cascade deck. I got thrown off. Vengevine deck with the new Willowgeist. That's pretty cool, yeah. Is Culling Ritual being good? Yeah, Culling Ritual I think solves a lot of problems for this archetype. It's been really, really powerful for me. Kind of tutor? I think I like the tutors. Especially with, oh, I guess it's awkward if you draw Chalice, but it's good if you want to tutor for Chalice. I declare that it's okay. We can Culling Ritual away our Chalice chat. It'll be fun. We still have a trophy with Mono Green Eldrazi. We've had a few 4-1s. No trophies. But I also like I only played it on Friday and Saturday, and then like one league for CFB on Sunday. I have played a lot of matches, but because the deck's pretty quick. But I haven't played it since then. Am I just running white for endings and lingering souls? Yes, but like ending is really important, in my opinion, because it's like a really good answer to opposing graveyard hate. Okay, Culling Ritual does not hit that one. Let's just bring in the Vindicates. You got it. Yeah, no, I updated the Stream Decker because to the deck that we're playing next. All right, screw this Chalice. All right, let's go. What do you think about Eaten Alive from the new set replacing Ending? I haven't seen that card yet. I have a really hard time thinking that any card from the new set is going to be a better removal spell than Ending. I also dislike, Liliana the Veil is a super medium card. I've really only found it playable in, like, these kind of Reanimator decks recently. And it's still, like, a super expensive card. It's, like, almost as expensive as Monkey, but nobody complains about that. Or, like, I guess, I mean, we're complaining about it now, but it's, like Monkey's, like 90 bucks, right, or something, and Liliana's, like, 80 bucks. Kind of sad that Ending nerf strategies that built around artifacts and enchantments. I don't know. I think it's actually good that it did. Where it's like, I don't know. Like, you know, I think it's good that you like just have more answers to cards like Hardened Scales, which is probably not the best example. Aether Vial. You know, cheap 1 mana build around artifacts and enchantments. You know, I think it's good that you have more answers to them. Not a great hand. I'm gonna take the Kolagons. Yeah, same about Jace. Jace is like not very good at Modern at the moment. Very expensive. The difference with Ragavan is that card is really good, and people actually want it. Still been bought Goyfs. I bought Goyfs recently. I got them for really cheap. I bought the Time Spell Remastered ones. I've never owned... Oh, wait, no, that's not true. I remember, like, back when some of the Modern Horizon sets were coming out a long time ago, I was lucky enough to open some Tarmogoyfs in packs. I think I opened 2 in, like, Modern Masters. Not Modern Horizons. Modern Masters. I opened, like, 2 Tarmogoyfs. And I, like, immediately sold them. And was able to eat that week. So this comes out on 3 turns. We've seen our opponent's hand. It was kind of land light. This can't find a land. Yeah, we could maybe find, like, Liliana next turn. No, let's get Smallpox next turn. Yeah. And then Culling Ritual can clean up the Rhinos, but Smallpox next turn seems great, especially if they miss their land. Paper Legacy can't be driving these cards for staples. I mean, Liliana the Veil and Jace the Mind Sculptor are not Legacy staples. They're fringe playable Legacy cards. Just like they're kind of fringe playable Modern cards too. Is there a deck I like Stoneforge Mystic in? Hammer Time. That's the best Stoneforge Mystic deck. But as far as fun Stoneforge Mystic decks that you want me to talk about, not really, I guess. All right, so they got a Tarmogoyf. They still get Smallpox here. Smallpox seems good. Get Liliana though. Hammer Time is a hard deck to pilot. I'm not saying it isn't. I don't know. I guess I don't know exactly what you're getting at, but it definitely a hard deck to pilot. But any deck is like anybody can pilot any deck with enough time and practice. They discarded a mountain, so they're not as mana screwed as I hoped, I guess. So if they replay Tarmogoyf, we wait a turn, then Culling Ritual kills Goyf and kills the Rhinos. Yeah, I remember the foil Goyf Pascal Maynard controversy. It was honestly pretty dumb. He can do whatever he wants. He's an adult. It's a card game. You don't know like what his financial situation's like. It was I think very silly that anybody criticized Pascal for taking the Goyf. And then I honestly like I've always like really admired Pascal, in general, but it was just so sick that everybody was like, all these pros were shit talking him after he took the foil Goyf, over the Burst Lightning, And then he won the GP next weekend. He went top 8 GP and to win the GP next weekend anyways. It was just like the sickest ever. Yeah, I think he sold it to donate to charity. Just like, I can't imagine like handling the situation any better than he did. It was really, really cool. I get to use the mana from the ritual this time. Dude, Culling Ritual is a great card. If they have another Marauders, we could got though. Okay, I guess we could Profane Tutor for Swamp. Was not expecting that one. We got trophy 37 and 38 yesterday with Grixis Scourge. Or sorry, Grixis Shadow. Maybe I shouldn't have exposed this to like Assassin's Trophy or something. They can't currently cast black cards. They're down to 5 life too. The second Swamp. So I can hardcast Archon now. Okay. So Persist or Archon are our best draws. We have 7 sick top decks. We got some other castable spells like Liliana. 2 basic swamps in the deck, by the way. Okay, not casting that one. Oh, so now they can unlock a black spell. This Pascal, I think the Pascal auctioned off the Goyf. For charity, too. Okay, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. Now we wait. SCM, 11 months. Appreciate you, buddy. The problem with Blood Moon is that it's really bad against Ragavan, is really the issue, I think. Okay, so they can bounce Archon, but I can just recast it with the revealed zone. Ugh. Can we fix the revealed zone on Magic Online? Can we just do it like Arena, please? Please. Okay, so I can't flashback Rites, and Rites would be a good draw. So I think I'm just like putting a dead draw in the graveyard. Yeah, I'm just thinning my deck here. I'm thinning my deck here, right? The Unmarked Grave is not doing anything else this entire game. No, I'm not playing a basic plains. I think it's like you have 4 flagstones, so I don't think you should play the basic plains. Yeah, the Leyland sub-souls, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, we, I think, lose unless if we top deck right now, we go up to, okay, we didn't. Alright, 3-0 to 3-2, just like my leagues last night. About 103 months. Good morning, Hitachi. How are you doing today? I'm doing well.